reporters who were expecting the media veil in the other room. I apologize. I guess they're not letting you into the other room, so that is beyond our control, but sorry for the confusion. And so we've got just a couple of minutes, but I'm happy to answer a couple of questions in the time we've got.
Can you tell me, how do you see Hillary Clinton as a possible presidential candidate? Are Republicans concerned about her? Do you think she's a very strong candidate?
You know, I'm less concerned about Hillary Clinton than I am about the direction this country is going. We've had 8 years, or we will have had 8 years of a failed economic agenda that is resulting in a lack of leadership across the world. It is allowing Russia and Iran and China to expand their spheres of influence and make the world a much more dangerous place. And at home, people are hurting. We've got the lowest labor force participation since 1978. Let me tell you, we can't afford 8 more years of this. Hillary Clinton would continue the failed Obama economic agenda. And there comes a point where you can't turn this country around. And that is why here at CPAC and all across the country, there's an urgency. People across this country understand it's now or never. It is now or never to get back to the free market principles, get back to the constitutional liberties, and to bring back morning in America.
Are you concerned about her
military action against Russia?
With respect to Russia, no one wants to see military action between the United States and Russia. When you have two superpowers with massive nuclear stockpiles, no one reasonably wants to see military conflict. But there are a host of things we can and should be doing short of military conflict. I'll say number one, Putin would not be acting with this level of aggression if it were not for the consistent weakness and appeasement of our enemies of President Obama. Bullies and tyrants do not respect weakness, and it is that weakness that invites. Putin is all but openly laughing at the president. Indeed, we understand the Russian foreign minister was on the phone with John Kerry saying there are no Russian troops in Ukraine as the tanks were rolling in. And that we should be, number one, standing up unequivocally with the people of Ukraine, speaking out for freedom, much like Ronald Reagan did with Lech Walesa and Solidarity in Poland. The United States should always stand for freedom. When you saw brave Ukrainians standing in the freezing cold, being beaten, being tortured, and standing up and saying, we want to be free, we want to stand with the West, with Europe, with America, we don't want to be under Russian domination, we don't want to be under the boot of the Russian bear, to mix my metaphor.
Do you think Europe has been weak in their response thus far?
I think Europe could be much stronger. But look, it's not confusing as to why. Russia uses natural gas and energy as a tool of economic blackmail. It uses it for Ukraine, it uses it for Europe. And one of the great tools we have right now is we're experiencing an American energy renaissance. We are seeing an abundance of resources that a decade ago would have been unimaginable. I think we should immediately sign a free trade agreement with Ukraine. I think we should immediately start working to help them develop facilities that can accept liquid natural gas, which we could then begin exporting, would produce enormous jobs and prosperity here, but would also help free them from the economic blackmail and tyranny that's coming from Russia. There are many tools we can use to welcome, whether it is the people of Ukraine or the people of Venezuela, who likewise are standing up for freedom, and our president should be standing and saying, for example, free Leopoldo Lopez, who's been wrongfully imprisoned for speaking up for freedom. But where is President Obama? We don't have the voice, the clarion voice for freedom that America has always been, and we have the potential with energy to tell people across the world there is a better way, a way of prosperity and free commerce and opportunity. Rather than being under totalitarian oppression, you can be free. That is a message that every heart yearns to be free. Thank you very much.
Senator. Undercurrent under the surface makes the mainstream get so nervous. It's time for purpose, for news to serve us, not with propaganda they use to hurt us.